What's up? Today we're going to be talking about how to make money as a musician. Now, if you're not a musician, you might think that musicians are just rolling in the dough, and that if you could just become a musician, you too could have that status, that wealth that people are longing for. However, if you're already a musician, you're probably thinking about how can I make some money and keep this thing going, because music is fun, but not making money is not fun. So in this video, I'm just going to brainstorm some ideas to help you think about how to make some money as a musician. Number one, I would say gigging out is a huge way to make money. Now, this could be at a church, at a wedding, coffee shops, playing with other bands that might need you to step in and play for them. Or if you are the artist, playing out yourself could be a great way to make some extra money. And of course, it's a big network thing. The more you do it, the more opportunities you get. So I would say when you're first starting out, just say yes to the opportunities, and good things will happen. Number two is session work. So if you know someone who produces music, try to network with them and let them know that you are interested in getting into session work. Or maybe post about it on social media, post a video of you playing, and let people know that you are available to fill in and to help them produce their songs. And a lot of times if you have a strength that is different than the one who's producing the music, that's a good combination, and that can be a win-win type situation where if I play the keyboard but I don't play the guitar and I need you as a guitar player, I can call you up, have you come in and track some guitar. And this can vary depending on how professional of a situation it is. The money can vary, but that's a good way to make some money as a musician. Another way to make money is producing. So if you are producing, or if you have some production skills, let people know about it. It might start out with just producing a friend's song, or if you've already done that, maybe collaborate with some other artists that are wanting to have some demos made. Or once you've already done that, you can take the next step and produce a full song. Production is a huge thing, and if you have those skills, that's a huge win for the artists that don't have those skills. And that could be a great way to make some money as well. A big thing with this one though is just making sure you're constantly creating that network, letting people know that you produce, and that just kind of snowballs from there. The more you do it, the more opportunities there will be. So don't be disappointed if not all these ideas take off right away. A lot of these things take time. Another idea is creating original jingles for podcasters or YouTubers. I've actually done this before, and that could just be a set price. You basically charge them something, you produce a jingle, or even you could just come up with the idea and get a friend to collaborate with you on the production if you're not the producer yourself. And that's a good way to make some extra money. And some of these things kind of just fall into your lap if you are a musician and people know you're a musician. Sometimes you'll just get people to ask you to do stuff like this, and sometimes you just have to say yes to the opportunity, and that can snowball into more opportunities. So saying yes one more time is a great way to just keep your mind open as a musician on different ways you can make money. Another way to make money is by royalties from songs that you've written. So if you are a songwriter, the cool thing about being a songwriter is even if you are not the artist, you always get royalties from the songs that you've written. So let's say 2 or 3 other artists record your songs, you'll get royalties from every dollar that they make on your song. So that's the cool thing about being a songwriter, is you're always going to be getting paid on the back end, because without you there's no song. So you're an important part of the process. Another one is royalties from streaming. So if you are an artist and you have music that's out on all these different platforms, the streaming platforms have to pay you, and then you get money from that. Of course, this is all dependent on how many people listen to the songs. It's not maybe quite as lucrative as it was to sell CDs or sell vinyl albums or tapes back in the day. But streaming services do provide you a big platform to be discovered, so there are pros and cons to it, but you can make money on those streaming platforms as well. Another way to make money is by teaching. There are always going to be people wanting to learn how to play music, and your instrument could have a lot of value in that way. So whatever you play, if it's piano, guitar, organ, drums, bass, people are going to want to learn how to play those instruments. So letting people know that you are a teacher can be helpful to create that network. And of course, this is no longer just limited to your local region, although that's still an opportunity for you. But with Zoom and different technologies and websites where you can host courses, you can teach online, both one-on-one lessons, or you can do master classes through Zoom, or you could even do online courses where you do a pre-recorded course and have people subscribe. There's so many different ways you can teach now. And so with the internet, there's so many possibilities. So don't think small, but think big. Speaking of teaching, I actually teach piano through Zoom. So if you are interested in checking out my schedule, check the link below and find out what my schedule looks like these days. And you could maybe have a Zoom lesson with me, and that would be awesome. I'd love to connect with you. I also have some online courses. My first course is geared toward beginner piano players called Church Piano 101. That course gives you the basics from knowing nothing about the piano to being able to play in church after 10 intense lessons, half an hour each, with a lot of practice in between. My second course is an Ableton Live course, which gives you so much information about Ableton Live that you'll be pretty dangerous when it comes to audio and using that software. So if that's something that's interested to you, I have a free intro video for the Ableton course and a free first lesson for the Piano 101 course. So check out those links down in the description, and I'd love to connect with you. Some other ideas are making beats. If you produce beats, you can actually sell those, or even just loops. Sometimes people sell their loops. And another thing is patches. So if you're a keyboard player or a guitar player and you play through, let's say, a Helix, you can make a patch on a Helix, and as long as people dig it and find out about it, they can buy it. Or if you're a keyboard player, let's say you make patches on Mainstage or on a Nord specifically or on a Yamaha keyboard specifically, you can sell those patches and people can download them, and that's a great way to make a little extra income by selling those digital type products. You can create some revenue that way. And of course, if you're a recording artist, you can get a record deal. Now, of course, record deals are a good way to make money because the recording company will pay you up front to maybe produce an album, and then on the back end, they're going to recoup their money by the album sales and through touring and live events and stuff like that. And streaming services, all those things, the record company will recoup some of that cost depending on how the contract's set up. But typically the record company will pay you up front to produce the album, or at least pay for the album to be done. So that's some way of making money. And of course, you know, there's a lot of different ways contracts can be negotiated, and so it all depends on the artist and the record label whether you're getting a good deal or not. But that's ways you can make money, is by getting signed, right? And of course, if you are playing out a lot, merch is a great way to make some money by selling hats and t-shirts with your brand on it. You know, if you are an artist, some musicians develop quite a following on social media, YouTube, those kind of things, and you can actually create an online store where people can buy physical products. So that's a good little way to make some extra money on the side as well by selling merch, whether you're an artist or a musician. And then of course, selling CDs, vinyls, tapes is still an option as a musician. If you've recorded a project. Now, they're not quite as popular maybe as they were back in the day because of the streaming services, but some people love to have those collector items, and they'll still buy the CDs, the vinyl, and the tape even. So depending on what people are into, those are almost like good collector items now, and people are willing to spend money on them still. Of course, street performing or busking can be a great way to make some money as a musician, but this typically works better in a downtown city area than it does out here in rural Illinois. But that is a great way to have a little bit of fun as well as make a little bit of money if you're closer to a downtown area. Now, I mean, hey, feel free to try it in a rural farm country if you'd like, but you just might not have quite as many people coming by to see you. Now, if you have any DJ skills, that can be a great way to make some money if you have a good ear for, you know, songs that go well in different situations, from weddings to parties to bar mitzvahs, all these different things. If you're a DJ, those skills can be really valuable and can be a full-time gig for some people. Now, another one that comes to mind is mixing. If you know how to mix and you have those skills, that can be huge. A lot of bands produce their music, but they don't want to mix it themselves because, you know, they can ruin their own song if they don't know how to mix. That's a good one. Another one is mastering in the same line. Mastering is its own unique skill set and can be really helpful. Some people just specialize at mixing. Other people just specialize at mastering. It's very detail oriented, almost like a mathematical equation, especially with the mastering sometimes. So once someone really gets that dialed in, people will pay good money just to have their song mastered by a certain person. So that can be a great area of opportunity. Another one that comes to mind is piano tuning. This can be a big way to make some money for people. In fact, I've heard that a lot of the piano tuners are getting older, so they're going to need some younger people to step in and start taking their place as they start to retire. And there's not as many younger people stepping up to do it, so the demand is outpacing the supply of piano tuners currently. So that's a good area of opportunity, as well as instrument repair. If you are someone who knows a lot about whether it's guitars or even like woodwinds and brass instruments for, high school bands and things like that, that can be a great area of opportunity to make some money in the area of music. Another one that's a really good one for those of you who have very good ears is transcribing. Even chord charts or sheet music, or even just lyrics sometimes, can be a great way to make a little bit extra money depending on how much of that work you end up doing. But there's people that are willing to pay for someone to transcribe a song, the vocal parts, the band parts, the chords. That's a great area of opportunity as well. Now, I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but the last one that I have on my list is a playlist curator. Now, on Spotify and Apple Music, there are these playlist curators now who have become almost like the DJs for the radio stations of old, or even like a radio station. They basically curate these playlists depending on the genre that you like, and they can even get a lot more detailed what a typical classic radio station would be. They kind of really niche down into specific genres. So this could be a great way to make some money if you can get your playlist out there as well. You have to get it discovered. So becoming, a playlist curator, influencer type person can be a way to make a little bit of extra money, because you have to have people listening to it in order for anyone to care. But that is a good way to make a little bit of extra money, or a lot of extra money, depending on how far you go with this kind of thing. All right, so that's my 20 ideas on how to make money as a musician in 2024. I'm sure there's a lot of ideas that I missed, so go ahead and drop a comment below on some other ideas that would be good. This is great to just brainstorm as a musician, brainstorm ideas on how to make money so that you're not stuck in your 9-to-5 day job. You can sometimes take 3 or 4 or 5 of these things and make them a full-time career. And so I've been blessed to be a full-time musician for the last 6 years, and so I've done a lot of these things that I've mentioned in this video. Not all of them, but I've done a good amount of these things to kind of piece together a living as a musician. So let me know what ideas I missed. Throw those in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching today, and make sure you give this video a like and subscribe if you got any value from it.